Hi, I'm Neil. In this video, part of the What is Cloud series, we talk about measured service, what it is, why it's important, and how it helps us. Let's get into it. What is cloud? What is measured service? We discussed what NIST defines as cloud and the essential characteristics. Today we'll be talking about measured service. If you like content like this video and subscribe to the channel, I'd appreciate it. And you can also download the book or buy it from Amazon. It is available now. Measured service, what is it? It is automatic controlling and optimizing resource use, for example by using metering capability by the minute billing. Resource usage can be monitored, controlled and reported, providing transparency for the provider and the consumer of the utilised services. That's great. What does that actually mean for us though? Well, monitoring and billing go hand in hand. The billing means you can be billed per minute whilst you're using the resource, and the resource can be monitored and measured in a number of different ways. So the primary way is the state of the resource. The state can be non-existent and doesn't exist anywhere, therefore you can't be billed for it. The start of the process, which is booting, you get charged straight away for booting. And then you've got online. Also, other states exist, such as suspended or shut down. Those are still billable events. It's only when you tell it to go away, i.e. terminated, that the billing then stops. However, billing is a bit more complicated than that, which brings us on to the next point, CPU. So Amazon, for instance, will give you two different types of instances. One is, here's a CPU backed instance. It's got 2 CPUs, say. All yours, do whatever you want with it. And that comes with a higher cost. They also offer a lower cost instance, and that is where it's using a shared CPU. On these, you get CPU credits. This means you can run the server and CPU at 100% as long as you've got credits available. As soon as you haven't got credits available, the CPU rate available to you drops to a tiny background rate, say 5%. You can buy extra credits, and then once you get to a certain level, you might as well have bought the instance that I mentioned first, where you've got a CPU all to yourself and it costs a bit more. Obviously, to start with, the shared CPU might be a better option. The second biggest cost associated with running instances on the internet is data, more specifically data across the network, or data transit. Data can be billed in two ways, what's coming in and what's going out. If it's a web-facing service, then you'll get transit charges to wherever the data is going to, the internet usually. If it's internal traffic, that usually doesn't carry a charge. Most cloud providers also offer some sort of auto-scaling. This is where you can measure a metric, such as connections to a database, CPU usage, or even data transit. And based on those metrics, cause an event to happen. The most common case here is you've got a CPU warning at about 80%. Let's say you're running a web service, you've got a range where you're going to let it auto scale between 2 as the minimum and 10 as the maximum. You don't want to pay more than 10 servers worth, no matter how busy you are. The 2 servers you've got are running at 80%. This then triggers an event to say, hey, we should have more servers. So the system creates 2 more servers. It takes about 5 minutes for them to spin up and get working. And then once they've provided a good signal to the health condition that you've set, health checks and stuff, we'll cover those in the next video, you've now got 4 servers. And as expected, the overall CPU would then fall because you've got more servers handling the load. But then after some time, the demand goes away and the CPU usage now says 5%. You've got another rule, say 5% 10 minutes. And that triggers another event that says we should scale down. So we terminate 2 of the instances, leaving us with the original 2 we had. Now there are different ways of doing this. For instance, the default rule is the older the server, the quicker it gets killed. So when we scale back down to 2, we've now got the 2 shiny new ones that we booted up just now, and not the 2 old ones that we may have been running for weeks or months. The upshot of this is if we're on permanent billing, it means we get charged for the 2 new servers, so 4 altogether, for the duration and only the duration that those 4 servers are running for. When we scale back down to 2, we're then charged for the 2 servers per minute. This means that we're only being charged for what we used, and we're only paying for our demand that we actually need at that point. So in summary, a measured service can bill you per minute for the resource you're using, the CPU usage, in the event you're going for a shared CPU model, you can buy extra credits, and DevOps and automation enable us to follow the curve by having alerts, alarms, and triggers based on what's happening on those metrics that we're measuring, whether we want to scale up and scale down, so that we only pay for what we use. I hope you found this video useful. Please like, and I'll see you in the next video.